Happy Dinger Tuesday. We had a big winning night. I am fired up after Profar's walk-off hit. All 5 hitter parlay ideas hit. Let's talk some more baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I'm your host, Steven, and if you can't tell already, I am jacked up after just a few minutes ago watching Profar with that walk-off hit to cash that hitter parlay. But we're going to talk about all the bets in just a little bit. We had a good day. It is Dinger Tuesday, and I told you last week we have a big prize for the winner this time. So let's just say what it is. Drum roll, please. Da-da-da-da-da-da. The winner gets 6 months free of Outlier. That's right. That is a prize worth $120. You get 6 months free of Outlier. So you better be on your game and pick that Dinger Tuesday winner. So if you're new to the channel, here's how it works. You got to leave a comment below with your home run prop that a home run player you think is going to hit it. But in order to be eligible, you must include the odds and the sports book. And then if we have a tie or if we have more than one guy hitting a home run, the higher odds win. Obviously, plus 500 beats plus 200. If we have a tie in the odds, the longest home run hit is the tiebreaker. And if we have the same player that hits a home run that is the winner, then we will have a Wednesday showdown. So the winner, like I said, 6 months free of Outlier. We talked about it yesterday. It's our new partner. You'll be seeing it throughout videos here and there. But it's a one-stop shop for all your betting research help. It's incredible. I already see some of you guys in the comments. Some people just got it, and some have been using it for a while, and they absolutely love it. So that's what we got. But it was a good day. I want to get back into it. Let's have 2 good days in a row. And we got a full 15-game slate. So you know what that means. It's time for the baseball fun fact, and it's trivia time again. Let's do it. So the trivia question today. What current franchise was the first baseball team established in Major League Baseball? Current franchise team that was the first baseball team established in MLB. What team was it and what year? I doubt anyone knows the year. So I will let you know at the end of the video after the bets recap. So in this video, we're going to recap yesterday, and it was a good one. Then we're going to go over the good hitter matchups. But I got a little slight twist. I'm just going to throw something in there, see if you guys like it. I also have the bad hitter matchups. That's right, the guys who have terrible matchups against their pitcher. And then we're going to talk about the good pitcher strikeout matchups, the pitcher report. Then, of course, we'll wrap it all up with the best bets and the bets recap. Hit that like button. Leave a comment below. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as we are on our way to 26,000 subscribers. We are in the dog days of summer and sports betting right now, so let's just keep the grind rolling, and it starts with the recap. There it is, a nice 4-2 day, but the only 2 losses were the 2 small half-unit plays. Taj Bradley over 6.5 Ks, that was an absolute beauty. He just was scorching hot out of the gate. I think he ended with 8. I thought he'd end up with like 9 or 10. Slowed down a little, still ended with an easy win. Matt Waldron, the knuckleballer, under 2.5 earned runs, and Casey Mize no win. Casey Mize got rocked, even though he had a ton of Ks somehow. But Waldron was the struggle. It was close. He had a ground rule double where a guy got taken back to third base because it just barely went over the fence. Would have been the second run, but either way, he had a couple jams he got out of. He got the job done, and I must say this: Matt Waldron might be one of my favorite pitchers to watch. He's the only guy who can make hitters look silly and way late on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball because they're all sitting knuckleball. It was fun to watch. He gets it done. The hitter parlay, guys. This was a cash of all cashes, as epic as it gets right here. Brian Reynolds, Jerks, and Profar, 1+ hit each. We thought it was dead. Jerks and Profar did not get a hit until he comes up in the 10th inning. Luis Arias, second and third, down 1, 2 out. Luis Arias up. Luckily, they intentionally walk him to give it to Profar. He hits a double, which didn't even look like he was going to hit it that hard. He reached out, double over the guy's head. Might have ended up being a single because it was a walk-off, whatever. But either way, 10th inning cash. That was freaking awesome. Brian Reynolds, ho-hum, extended his hitting streak to 21 games. George Springer under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. You want to know how good Outlier is? Well, this one is from Outlier. I'm just going to tell it how it is. I saw hit rates on it, and I just thought, you know what? I'm going to look more into it because I'm not a guy who's just going to see hit rates and make a bet. But I did see it. I looked more into it. Terrible matchup. Been struggling mightily lately. He goes 0 for 4, a no sweat winner. Steven Kwan, 2+ hits. Got a hit in the first at bat. I thought, here we go. And then he gets left on deck at the end of the game. He has a walk in between there and just ends up on 1 hit, unfortunately. But again, half unit. The tough one also is Bailey Falter, late ad, under 5.5 hits allowed. He gives up 5 in 79 pitches and then doesn't come out for the next inning. I didn't know why, but he just didn't. They just keep his pitch count low. So that was a half unit loss on the hook. But again, 4-2, winning all the 1 unit plays. my goodness, did we need it? But it's just one day, and we know baseball can humble you quickly. So we're going to keep grinding. That is the bets recap. And now let's talk the good and bad hitter matchups. All right, we got 17 good hitter matchups for you today, from most at bats to least, and we got Mr. Matt Olson, the lefty, up there for the Braves, 10 for 24, 6 extra base hits, and 4 bombs off Kyle Gibson. That is not too shabby at all. Ahmed Rosario of the Rays, he is day to day right now, so just keep that in mind. But 7 for 20 against Luis Castillo, and my Mariners lost a tough one again yesterday, giving up 3 in the 8th. But George Springer, 7 for 18. We just talked about him. He is mightily struggling, hitting under 200 on the season. But he does have a good matchup for whatever that's worth. But Vlad has a good matchup as well. They hit Brian Bayo pretty good. And then go over to the right. Obviously, not as many at bats, but still got from 3 for 7s with Adam Duvall, Tucker Barnhart for the Reds, who just went absolutely crazy in their last game as well. Yeah, Spencer Steer down there in the bottom left again. One of those hitter parlay ideas when we went 5 for 5 yesterday. He was one of them that got a hit. 4 for 10 with a home run off of Mitch Keller. So those are the good hitter matchups. Take a screenshot. Go get some winners. And for the first time this season, and just a random thing I decided to do because I saw it, and I just wanted to get your guys' input. Let's talk the terrible hitter matchups. That's right, the ice cold matchups today. We have 7 of them for you. And this doesn't mean don't bet these guys, but it's just something, for you guys that maybe like to bet under a half a hit. I don't know if you guys are out there. I bet under half a walk. So kudos to you guys if you do. But this is the maybe craziest stat you're going to see all video long. Shohei Ohtani is on here against Chris Flexen. How about 3 for 18 with 3 Ks against Chris Flexen? How is that possible? It makes zero sense to me. Francisco Lindor and Juan Soto both struggling down there. 2 for 14 for Lindor. Soto 1 for 11. So anyways, those are just some matchups for you, just some bad ones. Like I said, leave a comment below. Maybe this doesn't help you at all. Maybe it does. But that's what we got for the hitters. And now let's talk some arms. All right, this is wild. We have 2 good pitcher strikeout matchups for you, and they're with the same name, and the name is Hunter. That's not even that common. Hunter Green and Hunter Brown. But let's start out with Mr. Green facing the Pirates. Pirates' second highest K percentage versus righties in June at 25.5%. Green, 98 Ks and 88.2 innings. We've talked about him this year. Less Ks than he usually does last couple years, but he's become a better pitcher, still getting those Ks. Faced Pittsburgh in his last start and had 9 strikeouts. Similar home road splits as you see there. And this is that weird one I mentioned last time. He has exactly 5 or 8 Ks in 6 straight starts until that last one against the Pirates when he decided to get a 9th one for some reason. Why would he break that streak? I don't know. And then Hunter Brown of the Astros facing the Rockies in Houston. Rockies' 7th highest K percentage versus righties in June at 24.7%. Bradley 53 and 44.1 innings. Similar K rate splits as you see there on the home and road. Hunter Brown, he started out struggling this year, but he has really picked it up. We've talked about that before. In his last 3 starts versus the top 10 highest strikeout teams, 6 against the White Sox, 9 Tigers, and 9 against the Mariners. And as you can see now, he has 6+ Ks in 5 straight games. So again, these are just a few of the higher end strikeout pitchers against some of the higher strikeout teams as well. It doesn't mean all those other ones are not good options or anything like that. So that's the pitcher strikeout matchups. And now let's take a look at the pitcher report. All right, here are the first 8 matchups for you, and we got a good one in Detroit. How about Ranger Suarez, the 2 lefties, versus Tariq Skubal, 2 guys just competing for the Cy Young. Let's face it, in the American League and National League, that is going to be an incredible matchup. Obviously, the Phillies lineup is much better than that Tigers lineup. Other than that, we already talked about Hunter Green. Kevin Gausman just has not been that great this year. Neither has Brian Bayo. He's just been kind of okay, but doesn't strike out a lot of guys. Garrett Cole making his 2nd start. All those numbers pretty much mean nothing. You guys know what Garrett Cole has. He only has 4 innings so far this year. But Reynaldo Lopez, I have been very impressed by this guy. He's just one of my dudes. Every time I watch him pitch, he's solid. Obviously due for some negative regression, but who isn't, with a 1.5 ERA, 26% K rate pretty much. And then down there, Hunter Brown, who's been pitching better lately, and he is better. He's in better form than that 4.72 ERA says right there. But hits-wise, Zach Littell giving up 10.7 hits per 9, the most on this page. Are we going to bet a Littell under half a walk? Him and Kirby are the 2 guys I like to take. We will find out on that one. But other than that, those are all the different matchups. Ks, walks, hits per 9 with the averages on the bottom. And hopefully this is a great way to start your MLB betting day. Now, let's check out page 2. Not as many great pitchers on this second page, but we have the Shohei Dominator and Chris Flexen with a 4.39 expected ERA, doing better than I thought. But then Chirinos for the Miami Marlins. Guys, the Marlins are just a mess. Like, my under season wins, I think, is already a cash. That was the easiest bet I've ever made. And they have injuries now. I think Lazardo and one other guy is already going to the IL. Their rotation is struggling. Chirinos is now starting. He is not a very good pitcher. He's only thrown 5 innings yet this year. Going up against Seth Lugo, who we know has been pretty solid, but is still due for that negative regression. But I don't see that really coming against the Marlins offense. And then we got Tyler Anderson versus Mitch Spence. Spence hasn't been terrible. Anderson's just that guy who keeps getting out of jams every inning. I don't know how he does it, but he does. And then the ace for the Nats, Mackenzie Gore, after they just lost a tough one, being up 3 going to the bottom of the 10th and lost in San Diego. He is going up against Mazur, I think that's how you pronounce it, the rookie for the Padres. And then Joe Ryan over there, down there, 2.91 expected ERA, just been solid again this year. And no surprise at all. The Giants don't have a pitcher name because they absolutely never do. So, yeah, take a screenshot. Hopefully this helps you get some winners as well. And now it's time for the best bets. All right, this first game takes us out to Tropicana Field where the Rays host the Seattle Mariners. Mariners on the money line, minus 130. Rays on the money line, plus 110 with a total of 7.5 runs. Let's go back to that HRR bet. Give me Yandy Diaz over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs at minus 125 on DK and BetMGM. Yandy has been on an absolute tear, if you don't know. Hitting 394 in the last 7 days. He's been hitting better at home as well, 298 at the Trop. He's over this 1.5 HRR line in 9 of the last 10 and 17 of the last 20. He has an 85% hit rate in the last 20. It's absolutely insane. He's actually averaging 2.89 HRRs. That's right, almost 3 HRRs per game in the last 10 games. He has 3+ HRRs in 5 of the last 10, just to kind of give you an idea. But he's just a stud, if you don't know. He started out slower this year, but if you don't know much about him, you thought maybe he's just not a good hitter. If you just started watching MLB, that is incorrect. He is a stud. He hit 330 last year, in case you don't know. He is a very tough guy to get to swing and miss. I mean, it is really tough. His whiff rate is insanely low. This year, just to let you know, he had 220 in March and April, 269 in May, and now he is finally heating up. He is hitting 341 in June. He's now facing Luis Castillo. Now, let's face it, as a Mariner fan, he's a little more of a shell of himself. He's still a decent pitcher, but he is not the Luis Castillo dominant ace. He's actually one of the more hittable pitchers on the Mariners staff, although the Mariners do have the best pitching staff in all of baseball. So take that for what it is. But we're going to ride the hot hand here. Yandy Diaz just been absolutely smoking hot. He can get this in many different ways. He has like an RBI streak. I don't even know how many games, but it's been quite a bit. He could get this with just 2 singles, and that's it. I mean, he has so many ways to do it. I like Yandy Diaz over 1.5 HRRs as my first best bet. All right, before we get into our next 2 bets, we have a brand new partner. That's right, it is KALSHI. This website is awesome. If you don't know about it, we're going to be using it. We're going to be giving out our bet of the day, which I'll talk about in just a second. It is the first legal exchange where you can trade on any event. That's right. It's federally regulated in all 50 states, and it's a lot of fun. And we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. I think it's going to bring up some fun conversations, and it's going to be about trade. So if you do stocks and all that kind of stuff, it's going to be similar to that, except for it'll be things that actually are of interest to you. The key is to be one of the first 500 people in order to get a bonus credit. So the KALSHI link will be down below to sign up. Use that link if you want to get it. All you have to do is sign up, deposit $100, and you will get a $20 credit to your name. Now let's get right into it just to show the website real quick. This is going to be our trade of the day right here. GTA, that video game, if you don't know, release date. Here's the question, as you can see there. Will it be before 2026, 2025? As you see it there, we are going to go with the underdog here. We're going to go no before 2026. And here's the reason. Listen, I'm going to be honest. Ryan helped me with this. He's the video game guy. As you know, he's got his other channel, Nonsense Gaming Zone. Go check it out. But Rockstar is notorious for delaying games. Red Dead, GTA 5, they were both delayed. And the only concern, and this is probably why you see that as an underdog. And by the way, that's 23 cents. I think it says up there. That's buying a contract. You'll see it as you get into the website. But that's how cheap buying a contract is. And then you can also sell early as well. But anyways, there's a lot to it. It's a lot of fun. But the only concern here, and why that's probably somewhat considered an underdog, is that there's some financial reports showing a possible increase in revenue in the fall of 2025. So anyways, that's just our trade of the day. It's just something fun that we want to do with you guys throughout the week and stuff like that. But you're going to get a ton of different categories: cars, tech, politics, all these different things, sports, movies, music, you name it. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can pick the climate for one day. I mean, that's absolutely insane. So they have daily ones like that too. But anyways, we could go on and on about this. We'll talk about it more later. But go sign up with KALSHI. It's pretty fun. You can get a $20 credit if you sign up now. So use that link below. I've been using it for quite a bit, or for quite a while now, and having a ton of fun doing it, just following different trades day in and day out. So that's KALSHI. Go check it out. But now it's time for the bets. All right, this next one takes us out to San Diego, where we have the Fathers hosting the Washington Nationals. Fathers on the money line -122, Nationals money line +104 with a total of 7.5 runs. Give me the Nats first 5 money line at -114 on FanDuel. Odds have not dropped on other books for as of now, so all I had is FanDuel -114 is all I saw as of recording. I thought about the Nats full money line, and I was actually ready to bet this as I was watching the Padres game and that Jerks and Profar walk-off hit and all that, and I was like, you know what? I love the Nats tomorrow. I love the starting pitcher matchup, but I don't want to mess with this bullpen that I just saw implode right in front of my eyes. So I'm just going to go first 5 money line. We have Mackenzie Gore versus Mazur. Guys, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. But Gore, if you don't know, he's the ace of the staff. He's a lefty. He's a stud. 98 Ks in 80 innings. He's finally coming into his own this year. He's just been really solid. He's given up 3 earned runs or less in 13 of 15 starts this year. That's just him giving his team a chance to win every time. And he's been absolutely dynamite on the road. I don't know. Do kids still say dynamite? Whatever. 2.28 ERA on the road, 4.13 ERA at home. And he's now facing a Padres lineup that I don't really love versus lefties. They've been about average though versus lefties in June, but they are now without Fernando Tatis. If you didn't see the game, if you weren't watching it, Fernando Tatis was on the bench, and he is now on the IL with an injury, so he will not be in the lineup. So we got Mackenzie Gore. On the other side, we got Mr. Mazur. He's not quite ready for the big leagues. If you have not watched him pitch, it has not been pretty. In 4 starts, 7.27 ERA, 16 walks in 17.1 innings. I don't know if you know this, but a walk an inning practically is no bueno. It is not pretty at all. He has no command right now. He doesn't miss many bats. He's giving up a 344 average to lefties. I mean, he's giving up a lot of hard contact to lefties. Look for C.J. Abrams, maybe Jesse Winker to get some hits there for the Nats lineup. And he's facing a Nats offense that they've been about average versus righties since June 1st. They've been really scrappy lately. I'll just call the Nats scrappy. They've been really competing this year. It's been surprising. But they're about, let's just say if you just go by WRC plus overall weighted runs created, they've been about even, right about even with the Padres. So we have 2 even offenses here. And by the way, one of those is now without their star, Fernando Tatis. The much better starting pitcher, Mackenzie Gore, and we're getting practically a pick'em here on the first 5 money line. We're not dealing with bullpens here. This is just straight rookie pitcher versus ace of the Nats staff. If we get a tie after 5 innings, it's a push. So the only way we lose is if the Padres do have the lead. Obviously, when you're only doing first 5 money lines, sometimes one swing can win or lose it for you. But give me the Nats first 5 money line as my second best bet. All right, this final one takes us out to Houston, Texas, where the Astros are hosting the Colorado Rockies. Astros money line -258, Rockies on the money line +210 with a total of 8 runs. I got a player prop. It's a pitcher prop. Give me Austin Gomber under 3.5 Ks at -125 on FanDuel. This is disgusting. I mean, this is just flat out disgusting. He is under this line, though, in 7 of 14 games. So it's half the games. He's under 4 of 8 road games. So no matter where he's pitching, this is a 50-50 split here. Except for there's one problem. He's facing the Astros lineup. This is just a terrible, terrible matchup. Let's get rid of Garrett Crochet. He struck out 8 Astros. It means nothing. Crochet can strike out anybody on planet Earth. That doesn't mean anything to me. Houston has the lowest K rate versus lefties since May 1st in the MLB. This is a team K rate, 15.5%. We've talked about it this year. Alex Bregman, 6% K rate versus lefties. Jeremy Pena, 10.3%. Altuve, 16.7%. Yordan Alvarez, 18.8%. And Mauricio Dubon, 8.5% K rate versus lefties. Guys, they are so incredibly hard to strike out. And by the way, I got that on Outlier, as you guys know. Go click that link below and go check out Outlier. It's pretty awesome. But recent lefties to face the Astros, other than, let's just get Crochet out of the way. Skubal just faced him recently. He had 2 Ks. Skubal, the AL Cy Young favorite. Kyle Harrison, 3 Ks. Patrick Sandoval, 4. Tyler Anderson had 2 starts against him with 3 and 4. Only Skubal, Sandoval, and Tyler Anderson have gone over this 3.5K line against them in the last 9 games. So 6 of the last 9 have gone under. And Sandoval, by the way, and Anderson, they both had exactly 4Ks. So Skubal, by the way, in another start is when he went over him. But the other one was Crochet. We're not counting it. So Gomber struggles. I mean, this guy does not miss many bats. He is in the 12th percentile in K percentage. You saw the K percentage already on the pitcher report. He does not miss bats. He's incapable. He is 15th percentage in whiff rate. I mean, he's just not getting a lot of whiffs per game at all. And by the way, you do have to get some whiffs if you do want to get some Ks. So even though this 3.5K line is absolutely ridiculously low, I'm still going to take Gomber under 3.5Ks as my final best bet on the video. I will add more in the morning, of course, but we're not done because we had a 5-0 day on the hitter parlays yesterday. I am fired up because I know some of you guys tail those, and that's what gets me fired up is you guys winning some money. That's awesome. If you put all 5 together, which is not the point of this, but if you did, that's freaking awesome. I think someone just commented before we recorded this saying they did, or they put 4 or 5 together and they got a winner. So that's incredible. So here we go. Let's talk about these, though. I'm not going to talk about too many obvious ones, but we got Matt Olson. This is just straight hitter-pitcher matchup. Like we said, like we saw earlier, 10 for 24 with 4 bombs versus Kyle Gibson. He does have 1+ hit in 12 of his last 17. He has not been the same hitter yet this year. But Gibson, he's given up a 338 WOBA, which is weighted on base average, and higher average to lefties. This is just straight hitter pitcher. I mean, let's just face it. Matt Olson has crushed Kyle Gibson. If you don't think that's enough and don't want to use it, that's completely understandable, but we have to include him here on this one. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is the second one. 1+ hit in 7 of his last 9. He is hitting 308 in the last 7 days. And you saw it earlier. He is also 7 for 17 off Brian Bayo, who is a very hittable pitcher. We talk about it over and over. He does not miss many bats. He's given up over 9 hits per 9 innings. So give me Vlad. Third one, Steven Kwan. I mean, let's just face it. This is the obvious one, but 2+ hits is very in the realm of possibility. I am 0-2 on his 2+ hit bets, but I will hit one. I promise. If they get near plus 200, I mean, that's just insane. Kwan hitting 424 off lefties, as you guys know. I may still do this 2+ units. He's facing Cole Irvin, the lefty for the Orioles. So another great matchup as he is incredibly hittable and he gets hit hard sometimes. So you never know. I might sneak another half unit in there if we get some good odds. The fourth one of my favorites, obviously, Yandy Diaz hitting 394 the last 7 days, 2+ hits in 5 of the last 6. 2+ hits, 17-game hitting streak. If I didn't mention that earlier, I already talked about Yandy in the best bets, of course, hitting 298 at home compared to 242 on the road. And Luis Castillo giving up decent amount of hits. The fifth one, Jarren Duran is on an absolute tear for the Boston Red Sox, as are the Red Sox. But Duran hitting 464 the last 7 days, 4th highest average in the MLB the last 7 days, and he absolutely owns Kevin Gausman. He is 6 for 13 with 5 extra base hits off of him. And oh, by the way, he has 2 or more hits in 5 straight games. I may put a half unit on his 2+ hits if I can get good odds as well. He's just been on an absolute tear. It's unreal. What a comeback, by the way, by the Red Sox yesterday. I almost bet the Red Sox money line as one of my favorite bets, or one of my top bets that didn't quite make it. And then I saw them go down big, and I thought, okay, good thing I stayed off. And then sure enough, they come back and get a huge win in the bottom of the 9th. But anyways, those are my 5 hitter parlay ideas, my 3 best bets, all the betting research you need for Tuesday. And now let's check out the recap. All right, we got 3 of them for you so far. Yandy Diaz over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at -125 on DraftKings. Give me the Nats first 5 money line at -114, and then Austin Gomber under 3.5 Ks at -125 on FanDuel. Added plays will be in the pinned comments on X and on Discord. But of course, we had that trivia time at the beginning of the video. What current franchise was the first baseball team established in the MLB? The answer is the Atlanta Braves, founded in 1871. I had no idea. That's insanely, that's a long time ago. Let's just say that. I was not quite born yet. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the support. Let's go get some winners. Hopefully Monday was kind of a good spark we needed for a hot run and a good week. Thank you for all the comments every single day. I appreciate it. And if you haven't already, hit that like button. But hope everyone has a great Tuesday, and we'll talk to you soon.